Will everyone please rise for the national anthem? Leading us in the national anthem is a 2002 graduate of Chicago-Kent, Galen Caldwell. Galen received his BA in vocal performance in 1997 from Chicago State University and has risen through the ranks of the Chicago Police Department, currently serving as Field and Watch Lieutenant. Please welcome Galen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2019 commencement ceremony of Chicago-Kent College of Law at Illinois Tech. And you may be seated if you're not already. Today, I am pleased to welcome our graduating class, as well as family and friends, whether here or on the web, to celebrate this great milestone. We celebrate your graduation as a community and know that without family and friends, this milestone would not have been possible. Joining me on the stage are Illinois Tech President Alan Cram, my inspiring faculty colleagues, as well as alumni and friends of Chicago-Kent. And what a year it has been. Chicago-Kent students reaped a variety of honors at both the appellate and trial advocacy competitions across the country, cementing our reputation as an advocacy powerhouse. And I hope all of you who participated will come back after graduation to volunteer to continue the tradition in both programs. But you've accomplished so much more. Closer to home, you have helped 600 litigants at the Self-Help Web Center. You have volunteered thousands of hours at places such as Cabrini Legal Aid and Equip for Equality. And you have traveled to Dilley, Texas to help immigrants in detention camps learn of their rights. Your work in the public interest has not gone unnoticed. Our students received 4 Equal Justice Works fellowships, tied with Berkeley and Georgetown for 4th in the nation. Congrats to Elizabeth, Susanna, Tobias, and Carl. And one of you won the coveted AFL-CIO Fellowship, the only recipient in the nation. Congrats, Johnny. You have also gained the skills necessary to serve corporations and governments, individuals, and social causes. You are well positioned to parlay those skills into professional success in a constantly changing world. Today, however, is more about beginnings than endings. I wish you well in your careers, whether in the law or elsewhere, and I encourage you to use the skills you have learned ambitiously, but with integrity and civility. Commencement is a moment to pause, to be proud, to reflect on what you have accomplished and hope to accomplish in the future. It is rite of passage, steeped in history and witnessed by those you love and by the faculty who have seen you grow into the role of attorney and advocate. Our first speaker represents the JD class of 2019, this year's valedictorian, Batul Surbest. Batul, who is Kurdish, immigrated to this country with her family when she was 9 years old. She graduated cum laude from Loyola University at Chicago with a degree in biology and psychology. After her first year at Chicago-Kent, she served as an extern for the Honorable Daniel Lynch in the Circuit Court of Cook County, and during her second year, Batul was a member of the Law Review. She published her student note titled Enhanced Patent Infringement Damages Post-Halo and the Problem with Using the Reed Factors. As a 2L, she was also a student assistant of the Chicago-Kent Patent Hub and a member of the Moot Court Honor Society. After her second year at Chicago-Kent, Batul was a summer associate at Reed Smith. Batul has earned Cali Awards for achieving the highest grade in Legal Writing 1, contracts, criminal law, patent law, and constitutional law. Very well-rounded. And during her third year at Chicago-Kent, she served as a legal writing teaching assistant. She was vice president of the Intellectual Property Law Society and a coach for junior members of the Moot Court Honor Society. In November of 2018, I had the pleasure to be present when she received a Women's Bar Foundation scholarship. This summer, Batul will be working as a Pilley Fellow at the Office of the Public Guardian Adults Division, and after the bar exam, she will continue at Reed Smith. Batul.
Thank you, Dean Krent. Welcome, law school colleagues, friends, families, professors, and staff. Happy Ramadan for those families among us, including mine, who are fasting today. As a class, we have spent 3 wonderful, challenging, and amazing years together. And now it's over. We made it. All the work we did, studying late nights, stressing over closed book finals, stressing over open book finals, preparing for oral arguments, and stressing some more, all of it was for this moment, and we made it. As we become graduates, once we cross this stage and pass the bar, we will have that special ability and that special responsibility to represent our own clients and their interests. As we become graduates of Chicago-Kent, we join a remarkable group of alumni. Ida Platt, the first African-American woman to join the Illinois State Bar. Kwame Raoul, a former state senator and attorney general of the state of Illinois. Dolores Hanna, the first female president of the International Trademarks Association. It is amazing to see the impact that the graduates of our school have had on the world. During our first semester of Chicago-Kent, the political climate of the United States changed drastically. Our career prospects dimmed and uncertainty reigned. I was accustomed to uncertainty. I'm the second child of 6. My family immigrated to the United States when I was 9 years old, and just like many immigrants from around the world, we sought a better life and more opportunities. We sought the privilege of being an American, and the United States greeted us with open arms. I'm so thankful for the opportunities I've been fortunate enough to have and the love and support of my family. My mom deserves the most special recognition today because if it were not for her, I would not be receiving my law degree today and I would not be speaking in front of you. She has experienced 2 major cultural changes throughout her life while raising 6 amazing children. And I'm not just saying that because I'm one of those children. I only wish to be half as strong as she is and give her all the applaud today. During law school, one of the best pieces of advice I received was, don't let the pebble keep you from seeing the mountain. It sounds kind of silly, I know, but the idea is if you hold a small rock up real close, you won't be able to see the mountain that's standing behind it. Likewise, it's important for us not to lose sight of our dreams, aspirations, and goals by dwelling on the obstacles that might be in the way. Yes, we have to take the bar, and yes, we still have a lot of learning to do before we can become accomplished lawyers. But we will all get there, and we will all do great things for the world. We've already overcome so much as a group. My hard work brought me here to Chicago, Kent, just like your hard work brought you here. When our law school was founded, it was founded as a school for working men and women, a place for everyone seeking a law degree. Our school made the privilege of a law degree available to anyone who was willing to work for it and to elevate themselves and their profession. To this day, Chicago-Kent has a student body that is economically, socially, and ethnically diverse, as evidenced by each and every one of us sitting in this room today. This is one of my favorite aspects of Chicago-Kent, and it makes me proud to say that I'm a graduate of Chicago-Kent. As we begin our careers as lawyers, I hope that we can use our privilege to do good, to elevate those around us, and to make our school and our families proud. Like the many alumni of Chicago-Kent before us, I cannot wait to see the many firsts that each and every one of us will accomplish. Congratulations, class of 2019. We did it.
Thanks, Batul. Our LLM class speaker this year is Hyujong Song, and Hyujong is a licensed Korean patent attorney born in Changwon, South Korea, graduating from Seoul National University, the most prestigious university in Korea. She earned a degree in material science and engineering, and after graduating, Hyujong worked as a patent attorney at an IP boutique in Seoul, where she was involved in a diverse intellectual property practice encompassing a wide range of patent and trademark prosecutions, post-grant patent and trademark challenges, and patent litigation. Hyujong came to Chicago in 2018, and the desire to learn more about the U.S. legal system and intellectual property law led her to enroll in the International IP LLM program here at Chicago-Kent. After graduating, she plans to continue her studies of the U.S. legal system. Hyujong?
Good afternoon, professors, staffs, my LLM fellows, and JD graduate, friends and family. Thank you for being here today. Happy graduation. It's a great honor for me to stand here today and to represent the LLM class of 2019. While I was working in South Korea, I got an admission letter from the Chicago-Kent College of Law. It was really exciting for me because Chicago is one of the beautiful cities, and I knew that Chicago-Kent has the best IP program in the United States. However, at the same time, I was nervous to study the law in English. Now, I'm standing here before all of you, overcoming my fear of speaking English in public. It was achieved through Thank you. It was achieved through the LLM program of the Chicago-Kent. I remember my first time of volunteering to answer the professor's question. Although the answer was only 5 words, it was an important moment for me because that experience made me brave. Further, I remember the moment of giving a presentation before my classmates of legal writing for IP LLM students. I appreciate the JD graduates who took classes with me. When I asked them what I didn't understand, they explained it in much more detail than I expected. Further, on behalf of all graduating LLM students, I want to express my deep gratitude to our professors. You always encouraged us and helped us develop our legal skills. I also want to thank my family, my mother, father, brother, and my husband, Wisu. Without your understanding and support, I would never have been here where I am now. I'm very happy that Chicago-Kent gave us a great opportunity to get to know each other, to communicate with people from very different cultures, and to make friends from all over the world. After graduation, some will go back to their home country, and some will stay in the United States. 1 year ago, we did not know each other, but now we have become friends. I'm sorry that it is already time to say goodbye. Even though we cannot meet often, we are connected through Chicago Kent. I hope that we will use the knowledge we acquired at Chicago Kent for society and meet again as the best expert in each field. Congratulations. Thank you.
Our final student speaker is 2019 Student Bar Association President Dawn Peacock. Dawn hails from Kentucky, and she graduated from the University of Louisville with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. During her first year here, she became a member of the Student Bar Association and worked on the Student Alumni Board. During her 1L summer, she worked for Romanucci and Blandon as a law clerk. Throughout her 2L year, she served as a member of the National Trial Advocacy Team. She continued her tenure on SBA as treasurer and maintained her status as an active member of the Student Alumni Board and the Black Lawyers Student Association. Dawn also wrote as a junior associate on the Law Review. She spent her extra time as a teaching assistant in both criminal law and property. After her second year, she spent the summer as a summer associate at Dykema Gossett here in Chicago. During her third year, she finished her tenure on the Law Review as a notes and comment editor and served as the president of the Student Bar Association, and again, aided professors as a teaching assistant for both criminal law and business organizations. She has earned Cali Awards in both Legal Writing 3 and Business Organizations and was recently inducted into the Bar and Gavel Society, of which you will hear more about in a minute. After the bar exam, Dawn will continue with the law firm Dykema Gossett as a first-year associate. Dawn?
Well, well, well. In speaking today, I really struggled with what to say. I'm supposed to represent the student body, but I can't. We cannot be represented by one person. We all approached and experienced these last few years differently. Some of us pulled all-nighters, some of us had study groups, some of us recharged with friends, some of us recharged alone. Some of us went on runs at 5 a.m., at 10 p.m., and some didn't run at all, which is fine. But what we all did today was make it here. So what now? I could stand up here and I could say, follow your heart, follow your passion, have no fear. We already did all that. So let me tell you what represents the student body. Our first year, we learned to trust ourselves. We had to. We had to sit in the same chair all semester, while professors shrugged their shoulders at our right or wrong answers. We had to trust in our preparation because it's all we had, and we did it. Look where we are. Our second year, we became doers and not just dreamers. We had to get jobs and juggle law school and extracurriculars. We had to stop having the perfect answer and start showing we knew something about the law. We had to turn in a piece of paper and hope it didn't come back with red ink all over it. Don't lose that after law school. Our third year, we learned perseverance, and not in the way you'd think. It's the kind where you're so close to the finish line you have to tell yourself, do not start walking. We had to keep going. We had to keep going to class, even though we were tired. Keep reading cases, even though we didn't want to. But we did it, and look where we are now. Don't lose that after law school. And now that we are here, we realize that nothing is going to stay the same, and I don't, for one, don't really want it to. We've actually been begging for this moment to come. Not to gain attention, which is always nice, but so we didn't have to drink another SPAC coffee. So we didn't have to take another exam. So we didn't have to Google one more case that we didn't understand, even though I think in a year I'll still be doing that. I see the next few years going how I saw the last few. We are all different. We can't be represented by one person. We will go out and we will represent the government, and some the people. Both need us. Some will represent nonprofits, and some corporations. Both need us. You can sit there and ask, did I just scam my way here? And the answer is, I don't know, because same. But what I can tell you is that not a single one of us will become ineffective. We have grown too much and learned too much to not have an impact on someone or something. And that is what we all have in common. That is what connects us. That is what represents this student body. And I am so honored to be a part of the class of 2019. I'd like to end with a Beyonce quote. It goes like this: I dream it, I work hard, I grind till I own it. So go out and own this piece of paper, because it's not just a piece of paper. It's a red carpet to opportunity.
I know you join with me in thinking that these student speakers were terrific, and all of you could have come up here and have so much to offer and could contribute in your own ways. But as a tradition, we do recognize a couple more members of the graduating class who in turn have been recognized by their peers for their extraordinary contributions throughout 3 or 4 years. The Bar and Gavel Awards honor those who have provided outstanding service to the college, the community, and to the legal profession. Please stand when I call your name, but hold any applause until the end. Samuel Dixon, Alexandra George, Samuel Hock, Miranda Huber, Joanna Martin, Stacy Myers, Elizabeth Orr, Paula Panay, Dawn Peacock, Tobias Rodriguez, Samantha Rubin, Carolina Solana. Congratulations on your achievements. You may be seated. 11 guests with us today are alumni or members of the Chicago, Kent, and Illinois Institute of Technology community. They have the special opportunity to see close up their children, spouses, and other relatives graduate while serving as a legacy hooder and welcoming them to the alumni community. This special tradition allows family members to bestow the doctoral hood on their graduates when their names are called. They are Mark Bennett, hooded by his father, Dave Bennett, class of '89, Brenda Capistran Cruz, hooded by her spouse, Francisco Flores Vasquez, class of 2016, Chloe Cummings, hooded by her father, Ronald Cummings, class of '87, Kyrie Floyd, hooded by his brother, Jelani Floyd, and cousin, Owen Shelby, Thomas Jetner, hooded by his father, Paul Jetner, class of '81, Madeline Lloyd, hooded by her sister, Samantha Lloyd, class of 2013, Cosette Otobushin, hooded by her father, Dr. Paul Otobushin, class of 1990, Dominique Rogers, hooded by his father, Larry Rogers Jr., class of '93, Samantha Rubin, hooded by her mother, Chris Gorenberg, class of '91, and father, Phil Rubin, class of 1983, and Jane Sternecki, hooded by her aunt, Barbara Jacobson Dutton, class of '84. And now I am privileged to introduce our commencement speaker for today's ceremony, Michael Galvin, the class of '78. Michael is president of Galvin Enterprises, where he manages a venture capital portfolio of investments in biotech, real estate development, and business services. Mike was a partner of corporate finance transactions at the law firm of Winston & Strawn here in Chicago. He later served under President George H.W. Bush in the Senate-confirmed position of Assistant Secretary of the United States Department of Commerce for Export Administration, where he worked with the Defense and State Departments to reformulate and renegotiate 45 years of post-Cold War strategic trade policies after the collapse of the Soviet Union and the Warsaw Pact. Michael and his brother, Chris Galvin, with the support and inspiration of their late father, Bob Galvin, co-founded Harrison Street Capital. Mike graduated from Boston College with a BA in economics and received his JD here, where he is editor-in-chief of the Chicago-Kent Law Review. Mike is the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the Illinois Institute of Technology and is a member of our Board of Advisors. He continues a family tradition of IIT active leadership, service, and philanthropy that started with his father, Robert Galvin, and included the parallel support of his step-grandmother, Virginia Galvin Piper, for whom our concourse is named. She also endowed the Piper Lecture at Chicago-Kent that many of you have attended that focuses on critical issues of our #1 in the country labor and employment law program. And how apt it is that almost 50 years to the day that Chicago-Kent merged with Illinois Institute of Technology, Mike has become the first alum of Chicago-Kent to serve as its chair. Mike?
Okay, come on, let's hear it from me. The first Chicago-Kent alum to chair the Illinois Trustees Board. Awesome. Look, I understand it's my role today to impart to you some good advice, but as a disclaimer, I have to say that a friend whom I hadn't seen in decades came up to me recently in an event and said, quote, "Mike Galvin, you singularly gave me the worst career advice I had ever received." Well, that was Scott Turow, reminding me how I had lectured him 40 years ago when we were both interns at the U.S. Attorney's Office here in town, and I lectured him to the effect that he was going to blow his career if he didn't stop getting distracted trying to write some sort of a crazy novel. Which novel, of course, turned out to be Presumed Innocent, a New York Times bestseller, Hollywood blockbuster, in which Harrison Ford starred. So graduates, parents, partners, beware. Rather than lecturing you with errant advice like that, I thought what I'd do is share with you the arc of my career and lessons learned in the context of a Chicago-Kent education. Is anybody out there like me who are still trying to figure out what they want to do when they grow up? For me, I chose to go to law school because perhaps toiling in this broad field, I'd stumble into something that I wanted to do. As it turned out, I ended up having 3 or 4 different careers, depending upon how you define it, both within and outside the law. So if you forget everything I say, I impart to you today, remember this. Whether you know what you want to do, or like me, you're still trying to figure it out, your Chicago-Kent education has equipped you to succeed in any field you try. I can attest. Here's my story. At a wedding weekend before I matriculated into Chicago-Kent while alligatoring on the dance floor, my prescription eyeglasses fell off and got smashed. So I spent the first 2 weeks of law school sporting sunglasses, too cheap and immature to have a backup pair. So you can imagine what kind of a impression I made, a little odd. When Professor Richard Conviser called out my name during roll call in the first day of torts class, he paused and said, quote, "Mr. Galvin apparently thinks it's appropriate to appear before the law looking like a cocaine dealer out of the TV show Miami Vice. Good luck with that, Mr. Galvin." So the first lesson is impressions matter. Don't complicate your life by giving people a reason to misjudge you, and always have a backup plan B. 3 years later, Professor Conviser, in his signature heat-seeking Socratic method, challenged me in the last week of his antitrust class, my senior year, with the following trick question. Quote, "So, Mr. Galvin, now that you'll soon be joining the same law firm which represents me, what business do you think you're in?" And of course, I had a very, quick and accurate answer. "The judgment business, sir." "Correct. Don't get too cute stretching the technicalities. Choices have consequences. Possibilities against practicalities, what you have to weigh." I knew the answer because he had been drilling it into me for 3 years. It wasn't that I was that smart. So the lesson there is, respect can be rehabilitated even after you get off on the wrong foot. Over time, I earned Professor Convisor's respect. He became a career mentor to me and a friend, even attended my wedding. All of you out there, me included, we're so lucky to have faculty who are available and interested in mentoring us. If you don't have one, just ask. That's why they're in this business. They want to help you. I know they rolled you around the classroom a little bit with the Socratic method, but now that you're graduated, they really want to help. So take advantage of it. It certainly helped me. In my day, when you joined an established law firm, it was assumed that you'd practice in that firm for life, well, assuming that one made partner. And at Winston & Strawn, since I really didn't know what I wanted to do, the firm channeled me into the litigation team of that firm. This is largely because Chicago-Kent grads had a reputation for being better researchers and writers, given that, thanks to Ralph Brill and his team, Chicago-Kent was the only law school which required 3 years of legal writing. Well, anyway, halfway along the path to partnership, I decided that while I liked litigation, a new entrepreneurial spark was alighting inside me, and I wanted to transfer over into the other corporate finance transactions division because I wanted to be a part of the go-go 1980s era in which so many exciting and innovative corporate transactions were going on. So after consulting my Chicago-Kent mentors, Professor Convisor and then Dean Lou Collins, they encouraged me to go for it, even though it could derail my aspiration to attain partnership. So the lesson there is that the Chicago-Kent culture is kind of like the old Avis rental car slogan. We're number 2, but we try harder. I was well prepared. I worked my tail off, and I was ultimately elected a partner of Winston & Strawn, after all. So hang in there. Follow, when you start figuring it out, follow which areas you really want to get into. Now, getting back to Scott Turow, he modeled for me that one should always pursue one's other interests outside one's day job to the extent you can, without, as I said, don't blow it. But for me, that outside interest was politics, and as Dean Krent, mentioned, I volunteered on various campaigns for moderate and collegial Republicans like Governor Jim Thompson and Senator Chuck Percy. So when Vice President Bush Sr. decided to run for president, he asked his gray-haired peers, would you step up and lead his Illinois campaign fundraising effort? But his gray-haired peers said, hey, we'll donate and support, but we've been doing this since Eisenhower. Pass the baton to the new, and younger leadership. So the only reason that I was on the radar screen is because I'd put myself out there. And so Bush called and asked me. I was humbled. I accepted. So early mornings, lunch hours, dinners, weekends, all while still practicing as a partner of Winston & Strawn, I found myself finance chair for a successful presidential candidate and then the second most important swing state after California. After Bush Sr. won, he asked me to join his administration, so I took another career risk, collegially resigning from the very law partnership I had taken so much risk in earning for a stint in public service. And as Dean Krent said, I took the position of Assistant Secretary of Commerce for essentially defense trade, which was a job that they thought even I could handle, which was basically saying no to all high-tech exports into the Warsaw Pact and Soviet Union. And but then when the Soviet Union imploded it, without bloodshed, I was at the center of reformulating and renegotiating with our allies 45 years of post-World War II strategic trade policy. The point is this: give yourself permission to pursue and lead causes outside of your principal law job. Don't blow your career, but whether it be politics or your faith, social service, or the arts, like Scott Turow, it'll make you a better lawyer. It'll make you a better person. You'll make new and diverse friends. And who knows, such volunteer work may even put you in the way of a new and fulfilling career opportunity. Be a joiner and a leader in addition to your day job. So after I was summarily dismissed from my government job by the American voters when the Clintons formed a new government, I decided to become a client instead of a practitioner of my old law firm, Winston & Strawn, even though they humbly invited me to rejoin the partnership, I got involved in cool startups and turnarounds in software, genetics, real estate, engineering, and financial management consulting companies too. Too varied for me to explain in this limited time, but the point is this, is that Chicago-Kent gave me the confidence that I could reinvent myself in new fields as opportunities arose. After all, I was able to learn all sorts of sophisticated subjects about which I didn't have a clue when I started Chicago-Kent, such as constitutional law, antitrust, tort, civil procedure, criminal, tax, labor, international, among other subjects. There isn't a day that goes by in my multifaceted professional life, inside the law and outside the law, even now when I don't draw upon my Chicago-Kent education. The confidence to learn new and complex subject matter, the analytical process rigor, reasoning and advocacy skills, ethics, and good judgment. They're all baked into me as they're baked now into you. So as opportunities arise, or even as your job is obsoleted due to this fast-changing world, don't sweat it. You've been trained to evolve. So finally, perhaps the best professional advice I ever received was from esteemed Chicago-Kent alumna Esther Rothstein, who, by the way, was the first female president of the Chicago Bar Association. She said, "Mike, make sure you treat your last meeting of the day when you go home to your partner or family every bit as important as any of the other client meetings or judge appearances throughout your workday. Your family deserves just as much respect, flexibility, tolerance, attention, even temperament and compassion as your best and most annoying client." So anyway, my best days as a professional were when I ended the day following Esther's good advice at home. So to conclude, stay in purposeful motion. If you do, I can attest that Chicago-Kent prepared you well to seize opportunity as you, like me, are trying to figure out as you go along what you want to do in life. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. And it's now with great pleasure that I present the 2019 graduating class of Chicago-Kent College of Law, starting with the candidates for the Master of Laws. And then following that, we'll go to the Juris Doctor degrees. I call upon Dean Stephen Soule to introduce the individual graduates.
Thank you, Dean Krent, and greetings to our graduates and guests. On pages 10 and 11 of today's program, you will note that certain 2019 Juris Doctor candidates have earned a certificate in one of the following programs: business law, criminal litigation, environmental and energy law, financial markets compliance, intellectual property law, international and comparative law, labor and employment law, legal innovation and technology, litigation and alternative dispute resolution, public interest law, workplace litigation and alternative dispute resolution, or the Praxis program. Only the names of those graduates who are present today will be read. Please hold your applause until all candidates have received their degrees. First, I have the honor of presenting the 2019 recipients of the Master of Laws degree in U.S., International and Transnational Law, Financial Services Law, International Intellectual Property Law, Taxation, and Trial Advocacy for International Students. Receiving the degree of Master of Laws in U.S., International, and Transnational Law. So you're going to hand these to me? Okay. Maureen Annie Helen Alonso. Hasifa Ateneni. Irina Bana. Kokchak Bukchangam. Marine Bhutan. Exxon Byberry. Anne Cabone. Natya Sheshvili. Fuad Damarov. Fauzi Deeb. Ivain Zemilasvili. Valentina Frank. Tianlun Gao. Elvis Jassy. Roman Gantier. Chukjian Hu. Heinlai Jin. Monica Kava. Dorella Cocherle. Thomas Cree. Nicholas Kreis. David Korashvili. Nestor Levkovich. Orion Likari. Anthony Lunel, Tamina Mamadova, Lena Nestorovska. Nashu Izarudzi, Tiona Pipia, Maria Piszczanska. George Pizzcalori, Sen Zheng, Aaron Tipanosian. Mariam Shulashvili, Catherine Tonnerre, Jiaoli Wang. Ji Shi, Vitaly Yenchuk, Hao Yu. Nan Zhang, Jinhai Zhang, Zhejia Zhang. The final recipient of the LLM degree in U.S. In International Law is Salnahat Juriyeva. Receiving the degree of Master of Laws in Financial Services Law. Beiji Guo. Hao Yuan Li. Jiaxing Li. No, hold on. Is this you? Okay. Youngying Li. Zimei Qi. That one just marched after these. So. Kirilo Senison. Yuhua Song, Gerard Mba Tambi. Shaijing Yang, Ningji Yin, Wangqian Yu. Zhou, receiving the degree of Master of Laws in International Intellectual Property Law. Natalia Evangelina Curto, Violetta Dikova. Anouk Hertzberg, Kexkin Gao, Bingzin Hu, Ilya Iligzhevsky, Asep Homoon, Jiaopeng Liu. Chen Luo, Leah Shikiashvili, Youngjun Son, Xianyu Wang, Milan Stoyanovsky, Linwen Yao. Angelina Yoshchuk, Danning Zhu, receiving the degree of Master of Laws in Taxation, Ravi Anand. Philip Chuchavadier, Eva Chechlery, Chandler Lee. Zongyu Liu, Changying Liu, Lingzi Pei, Ziyi Tang, Joying Wang. That concludes the presentation of the candidates for the Master of Laws degree. Please join me in congratulating the graduates. I now have the honor of presenting the 2019 recipients of the Juris Doctor degree. Again, please hold your applause until the names of all the candidates have been read. Will the candidates please rise? Peter Abbasi, Sarah Agate, Fareshta Ahmadi, Leighton Bruce Romero Allen, Jack Amaro, Joseph Anderson, Imani Afi Asante, Alexandria Ayala, Madison Barron, Zachary L. Beaver, Mark Robert Bennett, Scott Bernstein, Brandon Beamer, Logan C. Bierman, Brian D. Bintz, Michael Brew, Taylor A. Brewer, Alexander J. Brinson, Christopher Paul Bruce, Myra Liliana Bruno, Bradley Burcroft, Henry Byrne, Julian Ray Kagatis, Brenda Capistran Cruz, Lisa Carlson, Miriam Chamilova, Jennifer Chang, Isma Chowdhury, Sony Caleb Cortez, Chloe Cummings, Olivia Nicole Chupta, Ashley Davidson, Bria Claire Davis, Johnny DeRogine, Tinuade Dina, Samuel Dixon, Christopher John Donahue, Jonathan Dotson, Stephanie Duarte, Christine Delaney, Emily Palmer, Nicole Jasmine Ferdoz, Roberto Fernandez, Sean Fitzgerald, Daniel Flores, Kyrie Floyd, Bridget I. Flynn, Jonathan R. Friedman, Catherine M. Gall, Jason Lee Garcia, Renato Garcia, Alexandra George, Ebony Gibbs, Gianna Fior Gizzi, Elizabeth Grande, Brett Evan Greenberg, Allison Haas, Samuel Hawk, Carl Haraldson, Jeffrey Bryant, Rosa Maria Hernandez, Elizabeth Heber, Tyler Hogue, Nasim Hosseini, Miranda Leanne Huber, Madeline Huerta, Amanda Emily Iacchino, Andrew Jackson, Noah Anderson Jager, Stephen James, Yan Jiao, Rangrang Jing, Thomas Jetner, Marwa Juma, Margaret Mary Cam, John Kangwa, Brittany Lauren Kaplan, Nick Karianis, Brent Keller, Catherine Kim, Taisuk Kim, Elena Claremont, Michael Corman, Darren Michael Kozlowski, Mary LaFleur, Stephen D. Lester, Jordan Liphart, Yufei Liu, Madeline Lloyd, Joshua Allen Locke, Annabella Loiper, Ashley M. Lonsky, Carla Lopez Castillo, Shannon Lushin, Lailai Ma, Samantha Blair Malman, Max Markov, Joanna Martin, Fernando Martinez, Ferris Suhail Madaria, Khalid Suleiman Modaria, John Matheson, Karen Molia Maxwell, Kaya Ann Mazon, Keisha McClellan, Catherine McCollum, Eric McGowan, Ryan Martin McGuire, Stacy Myers, Lareb Mosin, Ariane Monaco, Alan Montera, Ima Mori, Morgan Annalie Miller, Mahira Musani, Haejong Blake Na, Hannah Nissen, Paulina Okriglak, Rosemary F. O'Malley, Dan Orascannon, Elizabeth A. Orr, Melissa Ortega, Marin Osteen, Cosette A. Odubussen. Ana Carolina Pacheco. Laura Padron. Alexandra Charlene Palmer. Deanna Palmer. Pauline Michelle Panay. Yulia Petlata. Dawn M. Peacock. Rebecca Lynn Quaddy. Kristen L. Racine. Adon Ramirez. James C. Redondo. Blaine Robita. Tobias Bernard Rodriguez. Dominique Rogers. Robert James Romano. John Romanucci. Timothy Rose. Carly Willow Rousseau. Catherine Rasmus. Samantha Rubin. Chloe Salk. Susanna Sandoval Vargas. Melvin Saravia. Karen Grace Savella Stollard. Madison Schmidt. Caitlin Rose Schneider. Michael J. Shostak. Betul Surbest. Carl R. Sessions. Adnan Shafi. Megan E. Shannon. Emily Shaw. John Joseph Sheehan. Sharon Shee. Ashton Shirley. Mohammed Samir Siddiq. Brianna Jane Siebkin. Andrea M. Silva. Robert Simon. Sukhdeep Singh. Gina Raquel Smith. Jeffrey M. Snydenko. Corey Lynn Sabota. Melise Solak Subasha. Carolina Solano Sicilia. Mara Ashley Samlo. Tamara Sonnenschein. Franciscus Hisbertus Speak the Fourth. Rebecca Spira. Ernie Springer. Matthew Stein. Jane E. Sternicke. Thomas Stewart. Jarika Stitt Rushing. Catherine Stryker. Wisu Sewell. Ashley Lynn Cernak. Arthur Chester Surratt III. Cameron Scott Swanson. Faria A. Syed. Everardo Tapia Vergara. Justin Taylor. Molly Taylor. Felicia Thomas. Blake Thompson. Cynthia Toscano. Joseph Patrick Trunk. Matthew Joseph Tucker. Nicholas C. Yulin. Nicholas Michael Ustaski. Zachary Van Ingen. Chelsea Van Overmyron. Hannah Vanderlaan. Mitchell Walzinski. Alice Ward. Sierra Washington. Brandon Allen Waters. Matthew Weber. Benjamin West. Leslie Esther Wiesen. Natalie Wilkins. Andrew Willis. Shale Wilson. Andrew Montgomery Winiger. Yugja Ji. Yuji Yang. Kevin Yim. Usher Jonathan Uash. Michael Zeit. Wenshin John. And concluding the class of 2019, David Zumba. This concludes the presentation of the candidates for the Juris Doctor degree.
So there is still a legal part to go. And so for the legal part, I'm delighted to introduce Alan Cram, president of Illinois Tech.
Well, before I do the legal part, I want everyone to know that for the last 16 years and perhaps even longer, this school has had one dean who's done an outstanding job and has grown the school to be what it is today. This is his last commencement, and I'd like us all to spend a little time and thank Dean Hal Krent for his 16 years of service. And now, by the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Illinois Institute of Technology, I confer these degrees upon you and all the rights and privileges that go with these degrees. Go out there and do great things. Thank you.
At this point, I want to mark that along with the celebration of today, we pause to remember our colleague, Suzanne Ehrenberg, who many of you knew as a wonderful and dedicated legal writing professor. She died so young last year. And we also express our thanks to retiring faculty members, Sarah Harding, a specialist in cultural property, and Evelyn Brody, who is here, a national leader in not-for-profits. We also mark the departure of our head of appellate advocacy, Ken Stressman, who is off to sunny and way overpriced California. Together they have served for over 100 years and served the school with outstanding teaching and admirable administrative elan, and the school simply will not be the same without them. Before we conclude, would our new graduates stand up, turn around, face your family, whether it's upstairs or downstairs, and let them know how much you've appreciated their support over the years. Finally, you may be seated, just for about 30 seconds. And finally, you are the 18th and final class to graduate under my helm. It was my honor to bargain with you over the terms of your admission, answer your numerous questions ranging from why is legal writing 2 only worth 2 credits to why can't the library stay open all night. But much more importantly, I've been pleased to watch your progress, to bask in your successes, and I look forward to watching your careers flourish. That concludes the 2019 Chicago-Kent College of Law commencement, and I am sure you join me in thanking the staff for their hard work in facilitating this ceremony in this beautiful venue. I ask the audience to please remain seated until the academic recession concludes, and following the faculty off the stage, the students will also recess from the stage. One more stream?
Nah, we finished.
Want to do it from A? Just start at A?
Sure. Okay.
Twice?
A.
Play them off, okay. We will.